love him. He's so good. Nobody can do me like God. Tell your neighbor, nobody can do you like God. Nobody can lift you like God. Nobody can encourage you like God. Nobody can anoint you like God. Go where you want to go. Do what you want to do. But when you get through, there's nobody like the Lord. Nobody that will lift you. Nobody that will take care of you. This young man made up his mind. I better go back home. Tell your neighbor, neighbor, it's time to go back home. I better go back because nobody is treating me like Daddy treated me. Nobody is loving me like Dad was loving me. Nobody was taking care of me like Daddy took care of me when he came to himself. He said, I'm getting up and I'm going back home. He was tired. He was broken. He was hungry. He was famished. He could hardly put one foot in front of another. He was so hungry, he almost ate the food that the pigs were eating. He almost ate the slop that they were taking in. Listen, when you get desperate, you'll do almost anything. When you get desperate, you'll submit to almost anything. This young man said, I'm getting up, I'm going back home. But he was weak. He was tired. He could hardly put one foot in front of another. But his father, sitting out on the front porch, looked out, saw his son while he was a great way off. The father saw him when he was a long way off. He might have never had the strength to make it back home. But I've just come to tell you that his father ran to him. And that lets me know